Ludicrous speed!
Sir, had you better buckle up?
Ah, buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
I can ride my bike with no handlebars.
Greetings, moto guys and moto gals, and welcome back to the 333. And yes, indeedy, boys and girls, I skipped right past ridiculous speed and went to ludicrous speed, hopefully without the same result as my favorite anti-hero dark helmet from Spaceballs. You might have noticed that, if I'm looking down here, I no longer have the fire engine red fuel tank in front of me. I now have the Axe Murderer black fuel tank in front of me, and that's because I upgraded my bike. Yes, indeed, the trusty red CB500 is no more. It's gone on to serve another new bright-eyed bushy-tailed rider. Hopefully, I think it's going to be a great bike for somebody else. I, on the other hand, have upgraded to its badder, bigger brother, the CB1000R. So yeah, I upgraded the bike. For those who've been following the channel, you know I've been a little bit hot for this bike since the IMS show in New York City in December of 2018, and kind of narrowed it down to 3 bikes that I was toying with for a while. It was this one, the Triumph Speed Twin, which is an absolutely gorgeous bike, and the Triumph Speed Triple. And I decided to stay on the Repsol farm, stay with Big Red, and this is my second day out on this bike, and it is an impressive piece of machinery, I must say. I am not a hooligan rider. I have no intention of becoming a hooligan rider. I wanted something that had more performance, more power. I want to be able to do longer rides. I want to be able to get up on interstates confidently, and this bike will do it. My first night out, I couldn't even get the thing out of 4th gear. It was just crazy. But for those of you who may have an interest in this bike or want to know more about it or whatever, I'll probably do, I'm not going to consider this a full bike review. This is really just a, hey, where have you been for 2 weeks? I mean, I was literally MIA for 2 weeks because I was, you know, as some of you have upgraded your bikes know, you know, it's kind of a process. You go to the dealer. I mean, I did it as cleanly as I could, but I wanted this bike set up with some specific accessories. You can see I have, you know, by the R&G Mirrors and stuff, I've got a few non-standard accessories on this bike that I wanted. I mean, this is essentially my dream bike. I wanted it set up the way I wanted it, and I did a little bit of walk-around footage last night that I'll kind of go through, and I'll post some of the accessories that I'm using, because I think they may be of interest to other people. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's quite a bike. You know, built upon the 2006 Fireblade engine, 998 cc's, 143 brake horsepower. Bike's not much heavier than my 500 was. My 500 had about a 417 pound curb weight. This has about a 430 pound curb weight. So it feels really similar. Can't get completely flat-footed, but I can get mostly flat-footed. I think it has about a 32-inch seat height. It's got a very, I don't know how to describe it. It's got an extremely, like, muscular feel to it when you get on it. It's a little, you know, the first night I got it and started kind of getting cozy with it, sitting in the garage, it's a little bit intimidating at first. I mean, when you start this thing up, man, it sounds like it wants to just rip out of the garage. You know, it's a powerful bike. It's not twitchy whatsoever. It's super smooth, and I don't think he's going to be happy with me. The way the Honda engineering group made this bike, I mean, this bike just has a super wide power band. It's amazing. I mean, I'm in 3rd gear. I can just kind of cruise happily along here, and I can range in speeds from like, you know, 30 to 40 miles an hour without having to shift. And it's a big difference from the 500. I mean, the 500, I was constantly sort of jockeying. You know, if I was on a low speed sort of road like this, I would sort of be up and down between second and fourth gear, constantly upshifting and downshifting. This bike will settle in at the higher end of second gear or the lower end of third gear, and you could just cruise along on roads like this very happily. And as soon as you get on the throttle, it's immediately responsive. It's just a really well-designed engine. Really well designed engine. I'm ecstatic with the performance of this engine. It was exactly sort of what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for an out of control bike, and this bike is really, it's very well behaved. For its power, it's very well behaved. It's hard to say what I really like and what I don't like about the bike yet. I mean, there's definitely things I like about it. There's definitely things I can see not being likable about leader bikes in general. One thing I've noticed, you know, some of the big differences I've noticed between my 500 and this bike, leader bikes, like this bike runs really warm. So in the cooler fall months and the cooler spring months, it'll be wonderful to sit on this warm leader engine. But in summertime, definitely throws off a lot of heat. So I don't know how you other folks with, you know, above 800cc bikes, if you get a lot of heat off your bikes. This bike, I noticed, definitely, till I get going and get some airflow going, it runs pretty warm. Eats up gas. Loves its gas. I'll tell you that. That's a big difference from the 500. I did about, you know, maybe a 40-mile ride last night, and yeah, went through about a half a tank of gas, whereas on the 500, I would have probably just been about a quarter of a tank down. Another big difference with the 500, something to think about if you're looking at a bike like this: insurance. Yes, indeed. Insurance is way higher. Yeah. So I am heading down the Kettle Run today. Gonna head out that way and then head down one of my favorite roads, which is Columbia Road, which goes down to the Jersey Shore. It's got a few nice sweeping curves on it, and be a good little break-in. I'm trying to, I know different bike manufacturers have sort of guidelines for their break-ins. Honda's a little bit vague on their break-ins. Basically it just says, you know, don't whine it out too high from stop, you know, don't rev it up too high. But no specific guidelines about, you know, staying off the interstate, staying above certain speeds, you know, staying in one gear too long. I know there's all kinds of different stipulations on different brand bikes when you go through the break-in period. Honda's kind of vague in their break-in guidelines. So I'm just generally taking it easy on the bike. I'm not over revving it. I'm not, you know, not twerking it out of control. I'm not doing any crazy stuff. I'm just kind of riding it pretty chill. I got to scrub the tires in. Need about a good, you know, 200 miles on the tires to get them scrubbed in. It's got Bridgestone battle axes on it, and that's one thing I really like about this bike a lot is the sneakers, for sure. It's got a 190 Bridgestone battle axe on the back, and boy, does that make a difference. You know, I had I think I either 160 or 170 on the 500, and you know, I could feel that thing getting a little squirrely. This thing, it's like a tank tread, man. It just puts its paw prints down on the road and it just digs right in. So that's really nice. It's really nice. So here we are in the Kettle Run. Again, I'm going to go kind of easy into here because I haven't scrubbed the tires in, so I don't want to be blasting through these curves. I don't really blast through these curves anyway. I got myself in trouble on these curves before. Again, I'm not trying to prove anything or win any races, but you know, the bike definitely likes the curves, that's for sure. And it's a really nice day out. The humidity's kind of going down. Really good day. And boy, is this bike nice. To borrow a quote from my favorite UK moto vlogger, the Missenden Flyer, my goodness me, this bike wants to go. And it sure does. And I kind of like the fact that I know I have this power under throttle if I need it, and I really don't. But boy, does this like to dip into the curves. Me, oh my, it's nice. That's a fun bike, man. I'll go through some of the accessories that I put on. Like I was saying, I did a little bit of walk around footage last night, and I definitely put some accessories on this bike. So starting up at the front here, I'll put all the links to the accessories in case anybody's interested in these. There's a few cool accessories that I found for this bike that other people might be interested in. I know there's other riders that are rocking the single swing arm like this bike has, and I found a couple cool accessories. So starting with these bar end mirrors, I wanted kind of Triumph style bar end mirrors. One thing that I've always really disliked about Honda is their big, their big dumbo ear mirrors. The mirrors work good. I mean, they're functionally great. I just don't like how they look. I made a joke a couple vlogs prior that, my 500 was a good looking bike, except it had the big dumbo ear mirrors, and it sort of looked like a good looking guy with like big ears. But yeah, this bike I wanted the bar ends on, so I went with, I'm gonna get this wrong, I think these are GRC or GRD bar end mirrors. I'm gonna give a shout out to the dealership where I bought the bike from, DHY Honda. Been in South Jersey for years. Great facility, great staff, great service. If you're shopping for a bike, you live in the Philly area, check them out. I'm not getting any kind of sponsorship or freebies from them. I've just had 2 really good experiences buying 2 really great bikes from them. My salesperson was a guy named Sean. Really great guy, really nice, really responsive. Their service department, really knowledgeable, really great people. So yeah, so shout out to DHY. Thank you, folks. Love the bike. But yeah, so the dealership put these bar end mirrors on for me. Their parts desk gentleman helped me find these. These are really nice. They're adjustable. Love the mirrors. Fantastic. I got the Honda factory heated grips, right? So all of you who follow me know when the temperature gets below 50 degrees, I turn into an absolute whining toddler. And so I'm looking forward to having these heated grips for this fall, so I can ride a little bit longer. What else do we do here? Put these, the dealership again got these really cool Vortex, I don't know if you can see them. They're Vortex frame sliders, really nice. Really nice piece of equipment there. I think it's important to have frame sliders on your bike. Small investment that can save your engine cases. I put the Akrapovic pipe on, of course. I'm a big fan of the Akrapovic, the APRA Pipes. They made a real nice one for this bike. Put it on. Think it sounds great. Think it looks great. Stock pipe was actually pretty nice. It was a nice kind of brushed aluminum. Very big, very heavy. Locked out a lot of the single-sided swing arm, which I didn't like. So I think the single-sided swing arm on this bike is beautiful. Wanted to see it, so put the APRA pipe on. Definitely cut the weight a bit, and I just think it improved the appearance and the sound of the bike. What else? Oh, okay, there's one accessory that I put on here that I know a few people, a few other riders and vloggers are rocking the single-sided swing arms. So I started hunting around and I found a really cool accessory. One of the accessory companies that's becoming one of my quick favorites is a company called R&G. I believe they're out of Great Britain. And they make an accessory that I installed on this bike called a spindle bobbin. And it's really cool. So what it does is it basically goes through the middle of the hub of the rear wheel on this bike, and it gives you 2 bobbins. It kind of tightens down, and it gives you 2 bobbins that basically rotate with the wheel. And now I can use my standard Pitbull paddock stand, and I have the bobbin connectors on it, and it works great. It's just fantastic. And so thank you, R&G, for that really great accessory. Now I can keep using my Pitbull stand, which I really like, and yeah, so that one's great. And wow, I mean, it's just, what can I say, folks? I mean, this is just smooth as silk, this bike. One hand, 53 miles an hour in 3rd gear. Are you kidding me? Oh man, this is definitely a bike I feel like I can just go all day Little dirt bike ride action there. You okay? So, obviously, thanks for visiting my channel again. All my subscribers, I appreciate it. Yeah, so we're doing a bunch of new vlogs on the new bike. I may do a more in-depth review after I've had it for a little while and I formulate some opinions on it. Right now, all my opinions are pretty positive on it. Aside from its healthy gas consumption and its insurance rate, but comes with the territory of a leader bike, I guess, right? So thanks for visiting, and I will see you on the next vlog update. That's a nice jobber. Wow.